Dun, 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 dun.
I just feel like Peter Griffin when I do that.
It's time for another episode of The Real Pundits, episode 43. We are talking about Game of Thrones, Season 8, Episode 1. Spoilers be gone. It's time to talk about it.
Yeah, we waited till today so we could talk about spoilers and release it late.
So if you haven't seen it by now, well, there's something wrong with you.
You've been under a rock all week. I'm just going to binge it when it's over. Stay off the internet.
Well, that definitely for that one. So this is Alex.
And Brennan.
And we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones. So literally starting off, we just had a flashback to Season 1 and the beginning of
Well, let's go before
Season
that.
8.
Let's go before that.
You want to talk about art? You want to talk about the changes in art? Because I watched that like three times.
That was phenomenal. My favorite part of it, on top of the going into the Winterfell crypts and getting the details of your landmarks, was the White Walker path.
The little dots.
The little flipping over squares that showed where they were going.
I thought that was pretty cool. Also, like the little attention to detail of having the map in Cersei's little keep and everything. They really threw that.
And the anti-dragon weapon pointed at the dragon.
Oh, yeah. They did a really good job, and I'm looking forward to seeing it through what changes are going to be made as we go through these next 6 episodes. 5 more episodes. Yeah, we're in a total of 6.
So yeah, call back to episode 1 with the King's Procession. Same music with a little bit of Dany's music in there.
And the same situation of instead of Arya running up the tree, you have some new little kid running up the tree. And I thought it was
Ned Umber at first.
That would have been funny. But I thought it was really cool that you have this perfect homage to where we started, and we're going to end with almost the same situation starting off, and Arya's being there smirking the entire time.
She smirked. She was more surprised when she saw the Hound, not so much of a smirk.
No, but...
Like, I thought I left you for dead. Oh, crap. And then Gendry...
I don't think it was even, crap. She was like, I guess my list isn't done. You erase that name and put it back on there.
She didn't want to kill the Hound. That's why she didn't kill the Hound. She had the perfect opportunity to kill him.
Oh, yeah, but still, he was the very, very bottom of the list. If I have the chance, I'm going to take him out.
Nah, he's off the list. But let's talk about Dany's smug face.
You know what? I'm going to stop you on the whole Dany smug face thing for one reason. I have to give props to all of the actors on this episode.
Oh, their facial expressions were fantastic.
Facial expressions, body acting in this episode shows that a lot of these people are talented. And Sansa, as the actress who plays her, has grown up. Sophie Turner has grown up. And I was mainly basing it off of Sansa because it was more of the character looking at. Because you see her from season 1, and then you watch this, you're going, no, she has turned into Lady Stark.
Yeah, she is Lady Stark now. Much better than the previous Lady Stark, who just made mistake after mistake after mistake.
Her heart was in the right place. Her stone heart?
Yeah, that was in the right place in the books. But
thanks for the book burn. Yeah.
No, I'm going to go back to Dany's smug face. So she looked all like, why are they giving me this evil eye? Like looking nervous until her dragons flew over. And she goes, oh yeah, I've got dragons. She basically got off to the sound of people screaming because of her dragons.
Mad Queen.
Oh no, that's 100%. The red flags are all popping up. And now like because we've been given, and she showed signs of it in season 7. So like all the other reviews that you're hearing online, like, I can't believe this Dany is happening this way. No, it was there last season. Up until season 7, yeah. I mean, no, you really didn't get too much of that.
You started seeing some of it here, like here and there. You'd have these moments where you're like,
well, no, because you got to remember, season 6, she was trying to listen to Barristan Selmy, or no, season 5, she was listening to Barristan Selmy until he died. Then Drogon takes her away. Season 6, she's basically just captive of the Dothraki. Then she comes back to Meereen to save the day, but she's not being all like.
There was
crazy Mad Queen.
She wasn't being crazy Mad Queen, but I think there's moments where you would look at her and you're going,
"You got Mad Queen."
The seeds were being dropped in the soil for me. That's just for me.
But we've seen it from a perspective of Dany, the breaker of chains, the woman staying somewhere to set people free and make sure slavery doesn't exist. You're seeing her in these really positive qualities. You didn't see her in ambition mode. You didn't see her in paranoid, I need to make these rulers respect me mode.
No, that part, yes. You have not seen that part, but...
we did in season 7.
In season 7, but I mean, now she's owning it.
Yeah, but the problem is she's not owning it the right way. And where you got the real Mad Queen moment in season 7 plays into this episode.
Well, then let's move on to the next point here. One of my next favorite scenes so far is Tyrion and Sansa talking.
You've skipped ahead furthest from the best scene of the show.
Not for me.
Best scene of the show was Bran speaking for the audience.
Hurry up and let's get on with this.
We ain't got time for this.
Ain't nobody got time for that. But for me, I jumped past that because I already knew that was that moment that I was waiting for. Okay, yeah, everybody's back together again. We got let's get back on this because we don't have that much time.
This man is across the wall with your dragon.
And he's coming here.
We gonna die.
So I thought that the next great scene, because of that whole reunions, you're having this whole reunion thing, just the fact that there was this peaceful softness between Tyrion and Sansa. For a minute, until she made the ultimate dish you could ever make to Tyrion, which...
I used to think you were the wisest man I knew.
That was the greatest burn. Mm-hmm. Better than dragon burns, better than wildfire.
But right after she said it, Tyrion looked down and saw Bran staring at him. We didn't get to see the rest of the Cersei scene.
No.
Bran did. Bran sees everything.
Yeah, and that was the part that I would say that I want to bring that whole Bran sees everything up when I get to my other point that I have. We're going to get to that whole thing. I would definitely want to talk about that. All right, what's the next one up for you?
For me, it's Lady Mormont talking smack.
Okay, are you really that shocked?
No, because I am actually that she turned on Jon so much because at the beginning of, or at the right before he left for Dragonstone in season 7, he looked at them all and said, "I never wanted this."
Yeah.
So why are they surprised he gave it up? He never wanted it. They named him that because he was wanting to protect them. And then he gave it up to protect them. Why are they so mad and surprised? Like, he never wanted it. He gave control of Winterfell to Sansa and left. Came back with the Dragon Queen, as he said he was going to.
Mm-hmm.
Why are they mad?
They're Northmen.
And why was there no interaction between her and her uncle?
I think that's eventually gonna. That
needs to happen.
That has to be a moment of. Do you really want the little bear?
I want her to tear Jorah Mormont apart.
The little bear, man. That actress, she's good. But the whole thing is, I think it was in proper place for what they were dreaming of.
Yeah, they were dreaming of a free North with one king, like it used to be.
They were expecting one thing, and at least she voiced that. I thought that was a perfect.
But even a callback to season 1, right? When they named Robb Stark King of the North. The exact words for Lord Umber was, "It was the dragons we bowed to." Mm-hmm. Well, the dragons are back. So you got to bow. You're going to bow. The dragons are back.
I also don't think they were they even brought it up in the episode. They wanted to at least go, okay, what are our options? They wanted to talk about it, not just be like, well, it's time to take the knee.
They never took the knee.
Oh,
he did.
Yeah, but they're all.
He only took the knee with Ygritte.
Moving on.
In the cave.
In the cave, yeah. Talking about taking the knee and being loyal, I want to talk about Bronn.
Bronn is not going to betray.
I think that there's going to be something.
Yeah. The actor said in an interview that you're going to think differently of Bronn this season. The reason I don't think Bronn is going to betray Tyrion and Jaime is because that's what you'd expect Bronn to do. He has only done things for himself. That's why he left Tyrion high and dry in the cell, because he was going to get married and have a castle. It's like, all right, I'm good. I got what I need. Bye. Mm-hmm. Jaime, he only saved because Jaime owed him a castle in gold.
But at this point, after being messed over by the Lannisters 2 other times,
he wasn't messed over.
Bigger promises were made than...
Yeah, he gets a castle. And they teased it a little bit in the last season, where you've been thinking about a lot about our queen lately? Are you thinking about switching sides? Bronn is not stupid.
He's not stupid.
He's not going to go up and kill 2 people who are now aligned with the Dragon Queen, because he was even telling Qyburn, like, I'm not going to, if she wants me to go kill the Dragon Queen, like, that's somebody else can do that. He's not going to go do that. Plus, I think that we're going to start viewing Bronn in a more positive light. He's a fan favorite for being a selfish, funny prick. He is not a fan favorite because he's an honorable guy.
That is very true.
So he may now he could turn out to be incredibly evil, which he's always said, like the evil notions come for free. That's expected. If the actor hadn't said Braun's gonna do things that's gonna surprise you this season,
you think it would go the other way?
I would automatically assume, okay, wow, he's gonna kill Tyrion and Jaime. But like now that he said that, I'm like, is it a swerve? Maybe.
It could be a swerve, or it could be he kills one and saves the other,
or he dies at the Battle of Winterfell. He never gets to make that choice because he dies. And I was hoping he'd live, but they're my.
What? There's something I guess.
My theory of who lives and who dies.
We'll get to that in a minute.
Has changed.
We're gonna get to that at the end of this whole thing. Okay. You want to talk about the Greyjoys?
Actually, I loved it.
That was
fantastic.
A great scene. I just thought it was too short for me.
It was exactly what it needed to be. Because to be honest, you forgot that Yara was even kidnapped.
I didn't.
Well, most people forgot Yara was even kidnapped. Let's be real. She gets taken halfway through season 7. Theon's like doing his own thing, and then he's like, "I got to go back for Yara." Like, how long was that? Is she dead already? Like, and then you're like, "Oh, he's talking to her. Oh, look, he's gonna go bang the queen," and he does, and then Theon comes up and takes everybody. You know, takes Yara. You know what the problem?
Done well.
And
it
do you know
was
what the
done
problem
really well,
with Euron's ship? It's full of mutes. Nobody can tell him what happened.
That's a good
Nobody can tell him what happened.
That's a
They're
good
just going to be like, dead people are here. What happened? Oh, that's right. I cut all their tongues out.
Somebody has to pantomime this whole situation.
Yeah, they're going to be like, yeah.
All right, so we were talking about this earlier. Too early for Dragonflight?
No, too quick. I was fine with it. I was fine with it happening this episode. I would just, and I get they wanted to wrap it up and put it away, but it didn't happen with enough. Like Jon being nervous about it, cool. I could dig that. He already touched Drogon, like, you know, he's warming up. This dragon's obviously into him, so he's like, all right, let me see what he wants to do here. He wants me to ride. Okay, are you sure? Can I do that? Well, how do I do this? Where? But Dany's reaction to Jon being able to control the dragon, which she had a hard time. Drogon flew her where Drogon wanted to go.
Yeah.
Rhaegal flew Jon Snow where Jon Snow wanted to go.
And landed quite well, too.
Yeah. Jon Snow had a little bit of trouble hanging on there at first, but he got it, and then when he got it, he took off. Much better than Dany did. And Dany had no reaction to it. She just wanted to make out with him at the waterfall.
She had a couple of moments. I think, in my theory, from my point of view, I think Dany knows what's up already.
I don't think Dany knows the extent of it. I think she's just, there's something special about Jon Snow, but she doesn't know what it is. And that goes into what I think is going to happen in next episode, which we'll discuss.
Yeah, we'll discuss. Yeah. Now, we have to talk about, no matter what you say, I'm going to fight you over this one. The best scene, the best character interaction in the entire episode, no matter what you have to say, is Sam versus Dany.
No, that was, I have to give it up to the actor that plays Samwell Tarly. John, I forget his last name, but good old Samwell Tarly, man. That actor is phenomenal.
Man, that scene was tense.
And that's what I was saying earlier, man. The kid is purely good. Like, even his dad, who hated him, and he knew he hated him, he teared up, he choked up when he found out his dad died. And then he found out his brother died. He's like, he lost it.
At least I have my brother. Oh.
Yeah. And then he immediately ran outside to Bran, and Bran's like, tell Jon.
But watching that scene, because I watched that scene multiple times.
Jorah's face.
Yes. It was the fact that it was all just facial acting, because even she was just like, the Tarleys, please don't tell me. You could see that whole, be somebody else Tarly, anybody else Tarly. And then the thing that made me go, there's something not right with Dany. She didn't even, there was no, let me ease this guy who's helping me out something huge because I know he has some information.
No, she's proud of herself for doing it.
Yeah.
And that's Dany's smug moment number 3. Because we forgot about the, what do dragons eat? Everything. Or the conversation between Dany and Jon before they jumped on the dragons when she's basically threatening Sansa.
Yeah.
And there was no reaction from Jon for that.
Which is the part that makes me kind of...
Like, is he playing things close to the chest, or is Jon just too infatuated with her that he's ignoring things?
After the Ygritte situation, I don't think he knows... I don't think he's doing it that angle. I think he's playing it close to the chest. I think he knows something that's up, or he's been enlightened some way, somehow. There is something...
Maybe he's starting to feel like maybe he made a bad choice.
He knows this is just a bond of circumstance.
Yeah, that very well could
because I'm sorry, if you know death is knocking at your door, tomorrow is not guaranteed. So you're like, hey, for right now,
we're doing this.
We're doing this. I'm gonna hold up to it because we don't know. At the end of this, it could be John going to Danny going, well, we beat them, by the way, because we're not going to know.
It's going to happen beforehand. It's going to happen next episode. But let's talk about John finding out the exact truth. Oh, before we do that, Bran was waiting for an old friend.
Okay, now, see, this is where I don't want to get started into the whole Bran thing yet. I'm going to get to that because there's a reason behind it. The final truth being shown, that we actually get a chance to see how Jon Snow is going to react to the news, I thought it was a perfect setup. I thought the writing for that scene was, again, perfect because Sam led it perfectly. He was already emotional about his family, and he just went up to Jon and just laid it down. And it was perfect. The whole scene was...
making Jon question. You laid your crown down to save your people. Would she do the same?
And, of course, Jon still tried to fight it. He's like, that's treason. And then Sam just gives him this look of like, come on, dude. Think about this just for even a second.
And he questions. He's like, that means my father, the most honorable man I ever knew, lied to me. And Sam's like, no, he protected you.
He did exactly.
Kept the promise.
And a very strong promise. This episode, for the drama aspects of it, was... for me, perfect.
It was a fantastic prologue.
Just way too short for...
Yeah. It should have been 2 hours because
2 years of waiting.
You should have gotten, or at least an hour and a half. You should have gotten the hour's worth of prologue and then the setup for the next episode really coming into play. Not the ending that we got the way we did. And there should have been more Golden Company and Euron to kind of fill the time slots. Let's build up over there. I get that they're probably coming after episode 3. We're going to figure that out because that is just hanging out over there.
And we're kind of waiting on that because they have a lot of loose ends to tie up without much show. Now, if we were given a full season, I would be like, okay, we're going to find out more about this later on. They have a lot of loose ends to tie up, but I'm interested to see exactly how they're going to pull it off. Now, the major thing I want to talk about is because of our love of horror, this episode proved to me that these guys can probably do creepy horror pretty well. I would be interested. Ned? Not just Ned. You have this child in a wheelchair, or young man in a wheelchair, randomly, he's literally showing up. I'm willing to bet he just stayed there the entire time. But he was creepy.
Yeah, he was just sitting in the courtyard all day, all night, staring at everybody.
Staring at everybody, giving them the three-eyed eagle eye. And then finally someone's like, hey, what are you doing out here? And it wasn't like, I'm waiting for this moment.
I'm waiting for an old friend.
I'm waiting for an old friend. You're like, is this really a friend, man? Who are you waiting on? That you have like this psycho killer look on. And then we get into...
the end of the episode.
The end of the episode, which was dramatic, comedic, and a really good like psychological horror. Because I love...
Jamie gets there. He's like, okay, nobody recognizes me. Turns around, Braun's just staring him down.
Hello, old friend. No, I'm talking about right before that. We're talking about the wheel of child.
Oh. Well, that's be the wheel of soldier pieces with a child inside.
Wow. His eyes are blue. That was one of my favorite.
My eyes have always been blue.
They played that up so well, and they really pulled on that whole dread, doom, and despair getting ready to happen because you're like, okay.
Soldiers about to fight each other, thinking they're the other side. Like, wait a minute, we're all people.
Wrong people.
Did you find anything?
No.
Kind of. Over this way.
I didn't really find anything, but you might want to see this. Yeah. And it was done perfectly. It was a great setup.
Call back to season 1. Yeah. Episode 1.
It was a great setup. And
Who
then,
do you think the Night King's coming for? Because that was a warning.
See, that I'm really tossed on because I want to go through and say Gilly's baby.
This whole thing is him just wanting that damn baby.
My baby. That's what's. I mean, if you honestly think about it,
if you think about
he's been waiting for a baby.
I want you to think about this. I want you to just consider the fact that Sam works for the government. The Night King's mad because the government took his baby.
Oh, boy. That's what this just turned into. Okay.
Government took my baby.
But the messed up thing is, That's what this is like to me. If you go all the way back, like you have your deep-rooted theories. My theory goes all the way back to, gotta go pick up this baby. Once I go pick up this baby, I'll leave these people alone until I need my next baby. I ain't get my baby. All right, call it the boys. Let's do this, because I guess we're marching because they ain't giving my baby. And there's so many different babies he could actually go for right now. I mean, if this is really about some type of renewal situation where he grows up in another body type of weird thing that we can come up with magic, you got a lot of babies coming here. You got the original baby he was supposed to get, Gilly's baby. You got, there's a baby in Cersei. By now, we don't know whose baby it is, but we know...
Well, we know it's Jaime's baby, but is she going to play it off as Euron's baby? Because she's real good at that.
Yeah, so we'll see. And now there's no Pops to sit there and say anything about, well, whose baby is this really? No, she don't have to play the game with anybody. But the point that I'm trying to get is, if this whole situation is about getting a baby in a vessel of transference type of thing...
He's just growing new White Walkers.
Yeah, but there has to be something special about the babies.
Yeah, because they can grow up into people.
Right.
Well, they grow up into White Walkers. That's the lore. He turns them into White Walkers, and they grow.
So, let's see exactly what... That's my first theory. Babies is my first one. My next one, it has to be somebody that we're not expecting. This is George R.R. Martin. Mm-hmm. So, it can't be someone as simple as like, oh, he's going after Jon Snow. He really doesn't probably even care. Because he had his chance to kill him, and he's
probably going after Bran. He can be wherever Bran is.
I don't think Bran's the target.
I think Bran is, because Bran knows how to kill him. I think he's been trying to get to the Three-Eyed Raven, and he'd have been fine if he killing Bloodraven, right?
Right.
He'd have been fine killing Bloodraven, but once he figures out that this kid's now Bloodraven, now he's got to go after him, because those people that can see how he was made can see how he could be unmade, can see how they were defeated before. So he could have a target now, which is Bran, but the end goal is not necessarily the target.
I don't think it's even a kill Bran.
Or assimilate Bran.
Maybe an assimilation.
Like the Borg.
This is what this is.
It's the Borg.
Ye old Borg.
Great.
But nah.
Iceborgs.
Iceborg. But the problem that I'm seeing is, with it being, even though it may not be Martin writing this, I'm still using this as Martin's world. So it could be anybody he could be after.
The greatest disappointment...
In this episode?
No, in the TV series, is that we have no musical instruments. No horns.
Okay.
No Horn of Winter.
Okay.
No dragon horn.
Uh-huh.
So Euron's horn and Mance Rayder's horn are not there.
So your biggest letdown from all this is there's no musical instruments?
Just those two.
Okay.
Because if you think about it, right?
Okay, give me this theory.
Euron, with the dragon horn, could save the Seven Kingdoms.
Okay. I'll let you have that one. Go ahead with your next one.
Mance Rayder and the Horn of Winter, yes, it can take down the wall, but it also might be able to drive back the others.
Okay, another great theory.
So there are two things that Martin is going to weave in.
Of course.
But there's also, there's other things that are the glass candles. There's a lot of things that aren't in the book in the shows. But the greatest disappointment of Euron's character, I mean, yes, they gave us the callback to the silence, which is fantastic. You got to explain, you got that little thing. But he is such a vicious. Euron in the books makes Joffrey and Ramsay look like toddlers.
Right.
Like, yeah, they were petulant children who did bad things, but Euron's a psycho.
Yeah, and they're making him kind of enjoyable.
He's a horny frat boy who doesn't take anything seriously.
Which is where my problem is.
Holy crap. He's the main character of Community.
How many different other TV shows are we going to connect to this thing, man? We got Star Trek and now the Community.
Oh my god, I wish the Disco Spider was in this.
All right, so let's get on to the last couple of minutes of this.
Oh my god, Abed's just filming the whole thing. This is all just a Community episode.
I'm stopping there, man, because I'm already adding other things on top of that. Where do you think we're going to go to in episode 2? What are your thoughts for episode 2?
I think Jaime's trial's a farce. I think Dany's going to get mad because she wants to execute Jaime, but Sansa's going to stick up for him because Bran's going to stick up for him, which is going to surprise him because Bran's not going to rat him out for throwing him out the window because Bran probably realizes that he had to.
Yeah.
Like for him to be here, that probably had to happen. So Bran's just going to not say anything.
Yeah.
Plus, Bran probably sees that he's got a role to play, much like Melisandre.
Right.
I believe she's going to come back, probably episode 3.
I'm hoping before that.
I think she'll die too early then because Jon Snow promised it. I think she's going to show up and sacrifice herself in a really epic way in episode 3.
And bring back a whole bunch of people this time?
Yeah, like she's basically just got, the red priests for days just throwing fire, which would be fantastic. But we're going to get some war planning.
Ooh, and what about some war planning?
Yeah, we're going to get some more war planning.
And how about a little bit of like a skirmish plan?
Yeah, we're going to get some skirmish. We're going to get defense planning.
Oh, defense planning. I love scenes of defense planning.
We're going to get some more tension, more useless tension between Sansa and Daenerys.
Oh, that's going to be great. This is only going to be like an hour, right?
Yeah. It actually is only going to be an hour.
And another hour-long episode of people planning, talking, building.
56 minutes to be specific. This one was 54.
Oh, wow. We're getting an extra 2 minutes of planning.
Yeah, planning and... I don't know.
All this to lead up to episode 3.
Which is a 84-minute long fight scene.
No more... You know what? One thing we didn't talk about? What do you think the weapon is that Arya wants to build?
A spear.
But what size is said spear? Dragon size spear type of thing? Because I don't think it's just a spear.
A staff with her dagger at the end of it, so she can fight like she did when she was blind.
I think there's more to it because it seemed like it was 2 parts of it. It's like I had to freeze framing of it.
If you look at it, the top part looks like her bone dagger.
Right.
So she's gonna have a Valyrian steel dagger on a stick.
You think that's all it is a long staff?
I think it's just a long staff with a.
Then why go through and talk? Why go
detach.
through and talk to him about it?
Because she wants him to make it so it can detach from her dagger.
She can burrow out a hole in a stick and shove it in there.
Theoretically, but if he makes it out of like metal or something, or dragon glass,
he makes it out of love.
Or love. Maybe it was just an excuse for her to go.
Flirt.
Flirt with him and try to get down his blacksmith britches.
His blacksmith britches. That is going to be a thing now. So we have episode 2 to look forward to, and we'll be back next week to go through and do exactly what we did this time on episode 2. And if you want to hit us up at mailbag@therealpundits.com. And of course, you can find us at The Real Pundits on Twitter. And other than that, you got anything else to add, man?
I can't wait for Dany to die.
Wow, that's your one call out for death.
No, there's a few others.
All right.
Grey Worm, Melisandre, Tyrion.
The entire cast of Game of Thrones.
No, this is like episode 3. It'll be Jorah, because it's not unlike Martin to bring somebody back just to
kill him again.
Every Dothraki you've ever met.
Oh, every Dothraki.
Just the ones you've met.
Oh, okay.
She's going to have nameless ones in the back. She's got a lot of Dothraki. The Dothraki, Grey Worm, Melisandre, Tyrion, basically the non-Stark characters who can't fight.
The non-Stark. So the guy in the wheelchair. That's real messed up, man.
He's Stark.
I know.
The non-Stark. Yeah, who can't fight, and Grey Worm.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I have to ask, what's triggering you for Grey Worm not living?
He will try to protect Melisandre and Daenerys. He is also going to be in the front lines because he's unsullied and they don't have any sense like that. They don't have fear.
Now, do you think we're going to have to deal with a frozen Grey Worm?
I think we're going to have to deal with an undead army. The Dothraki and the Unsullied are going to be resurrected and turned on Dany. They're going to have to flee this to survive it.
Wow, that's your bid.
They lose Winterfell.
Well, Winterfell is kind of a given.
They have to lose Winterfell. If they don't lose Winterfell, I'll be surprised. Although, I don't see how you're going to wrap it up in 3 more episodes after that. If you have them not, which means that if they really speed this up too much, they could really hurt it. Although it is movie length at 84 minutes. That's basically 70s and 80s movies.
Yeah.
So you could wrap up the whole story of that Night King thing if you pace it properly.
And I think these guys can.
Maybe.
D&D actually have it.
I'm hoping. And then every other episode after that's over 80 minutes. So you have enough time for... I mean, realistically, it'd be too simple if it's Cersei versus the Night King with an undead Jon Snow army. Which would be cool. I'm not going to lie. Like, that would be like the greatest ending. It's like, Jaime was right. The North comes back and kill them all. And how the Valonqar prophecy comes to play is it's an undead Tyrion that kills her.
Okay.
Which would be phenomenal.
then we'll have to wait and see.
I'm not going to get that wish.
You're not going to get that wish, but you can at least continue dreaming about it. On that note, guys, it's been fun, and we are out. Bye.
Peace.